Hey, so I've actually had this video in the Raptors for a minute now. This is not by any means a happy video. It's actually a video I talk about a loss that I experienced a few months ago and how I'm coping with it and how maybe you could too. If you're in good spirits or super cheerful right now, please click off this video. And maybe when you're feeling down or you're thinking about a loved one, come back to it. And I think it might help. I know I'm trying to figure out this consecration thing, so bear with me here. And I hope you enjoy. So I was building my first company at the time, and I was looking for funding opportunities. And I had gotten rejected from this student application, and I was frustrated, but I reached back out. I was desperate for some sort of help, and I got introduced to this guy. And I didn't know then that guy would very quickly become the person who changed the trajectory of my college experience. And so we arranged a time to meet. And I remember walking in and kind of just, I didn't think much, to be honest. I didn't think much of the guy. I remember he stands up to shake my hand, and he's 6'4". I'm like, whoa, this guy's big. It occurred to me that I'd seen him around before. This wasn't the first time I'd seen him. And I remember back then, he didn't have much presence. He didn't have this big kind of aura to him, and very low key guy. You would think that until he started talking. So I introduce myself and I tell him my dreams and my aspirations and what I'm looking for. And he kind of just starts to yap for 15, 20, 30 minutes. I don't even know how long it was, but I remember just enjoying every single second of it. You just don't really know. You just wouldn't have known this guy was like an absolute gold mine of knowledge and information and expertise. I just couldn't help but think, wow, this guy's so cool. This guy's so awesome. Like, I'm so glad I met with him. And I didn't really have friends back then. And I was just really desperately searching for a community. I remember searching for people who were like me, who were doing the things I wanted to do, who could relate to me, who had the same passion for the things that I had passion for. And I never forget this. I remember just looking in his eyes and telling him who I wanted to be, and he believed me. There was nothing else in his eyes but belief. And typically when I told people, they would laugh or they would think I was crazy. But I told this guy who I was, what I had done, who I wanted to be in the future. And I felt like he believed every single word that I said. And so that guy became my point person, my mentor, a friend of mine, and a guy who drastically changed my life via the resources and opportunities that he put me onto. And I remember he had this voice, one of those voices that kind of carries, largely unexpected for him. And one of those voices that just you find yourself kind of hanging on every single word he says. And then he had this smile, kind of lit up the room whenever he was talking about entrepreneurship or stuff he was really passionate about. And he had this laugh. To be honest, it's been about a week since I found out, and I am having a tough time remembering his laugh. Maybe I haven't forgotten it, like maybe I just think I have. But when I try to like pull it from my memory bank, it's not there, and that really scares me. And I've lost people before, but this one's a bit different. It feels different. Like, I knew the guy for a bit over a year, but when I look back, it feels so much longer. His impact on my life was just that monumental, and I feel like with him dies a sense of the belonging that I had at the school. And with older family members, it was more of a sense of, I wish I had talked with them more. I regret not spending more time. But with him, it feels more like I saw you as an integral part of my life moving forward. I'm a bit less concerned about the actions I did in the past and more concerned about discerned isn't the word. This guy was meant to be a part of my future. Like, my future has you in it. But now you're not going to be in it. And I don't really know what that means yet. Like, what does it mean for you to be gone? And people talk about the 5 stages of grief, and I can't help but in this moment feel like that's a bit of a load of crap. At this moment, right now, I'm feeling all of the stages at the exact same time. There's no stages where I'm feeling one of them in this moment. I still deny that he's gone. I still am angry as hell I'm never going to see him again. I still wonder if I should have spent more time. I'm fighting the depression as I'm recording this right now, and I know there's nothing I can do, and he's gone forever, and I know I have to be okay with that. And I'm accepting that every single day. But what bugs me the most is that over time, I know I'm gonna forget a lot of the things that I liked about him. Like, I'll remember his voice, his laugh, but not how it sounded. And I remember the warmth I felt from his smile, but not what it looked like. And that's the part that frightens me the most. And this, of course, happened during finals week. It's always finals week, man. I had a final the day after I found out he had passed. And I remember laying there for a few hours after I found out. And then the logical part of my brain started kicking in. I remember dragging myself to the gym, dragged myself back, and I made a promise to myself in that moment. I promised that I would not fail that final. I had A at the time, and I didn't study much before that day. I should have, but I didn't, as a lot of us know. And I often have these dreams, or these ideas when people around me die. I've envisioned myself having a conversation with them post-mortem and kind of just spewing my guts out and saying, hey man, not gonna lie, like, I crashed and burned. I was overcome with the grief of you moving on, you passing away, and I just failed and messed up my life in a lot of different ways. And every single time I ask myself, would they want that from me? Like, would anybody who cared about me, who I cared about, would they want me to do that? And every time that answer is no. Every time I know that that's not what they would have wanted from me. And so I made a promise to do my best to deal with the grief while also trying to become the person that he knew I could be. To become the person that I wanted him to see while he was alive. And so maybe that's what matters, right? Maybe it's not all the details about them. I frankly don't think it's possible to remember all of them. I think what brings me comfort now is that I will forget. And that's okay. Because isn't what matters to us what they meant to us. I'm never going to forget who he was or what he meant to me. And I'm never going to forget how important he was to my life. Who they were and how they live on within you. I know I don't have all the answers, but every single time I think about that, it gives me strength to keep going. And it's not easy, man. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job at it. It's hard to do anything right now or go anywhere. But I did finish that class with an A. That's enough for now. While other parts of my life are definitely spiraling a bit, I still feel like I can keep that promise to him. Like, I still feel like I can move forward with him in my heart as I work to become the man he thought I could be. And I'm proud of that. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I know the first two videos have been a bit heavy. They're not all going to be like this. Going to be tons of different content on here. Please feel free to leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Thanks again for watching. Deuces.